Oh shit, too late. They can't even girl, why do you tell me that? You can't add it once it's live. Oh, it's already
So let me see. Hold on. I think I can.
can you like I thought you could only add
It
it.
wasn't at first, but then the last couple times when I came late, I was able to add.
Okay,
So
okay, maybe it's a new update. Because they update some new stuff on here. They're trying to turn the stream yard and they're cheaper. So I'm cool with that.
I
All
know
right,
it's
y'all. Welcome back to Commission Reviews, the queen of reality TV. We review panel gonna talk about this boring ass season. I'm sorry, the most boring season I've ever seen in Rich Love. They gotta do better, baby. I'm sorry. No shade to the cast because editing. I'm sorry, real quick. Reality TV lately has been super edited Kool-Aid, no sugar down. So that's why I think a lot of these things happen. So I don't blame the cast for this. Let me do a quick little intro.
Hey, it's me, your girl Cynthia Bailey, and I've been hanging out with your girl, the queen of reality TV, Kamisha Reviews.
All right. Now there's no recap because my girl is too busy in book and just don't really care. And she fell asleep. So I could just start from the beginning. We're gonna start with the brunch. Okay. Nephew Tommy was the one thing I want to call out is when he called out Tay, in my opinion, called out Tay and Cisco. And I wanted to talk about this before, we talk about the whole what do you call it, episode or whatever itself. But hold on, let me make sure Chaz. I want to check some real quick because I said he was coming. But the whole thing is when he said I didn't have shit. This is Tommy talking to the two of them. I said, bro, this is so okay. Go ahead, whatever. He said I didn't have shit. Hold on, I'm about to have my background here. Okay, there we go. He said, I didn't have shit, and my wife carried the load and gave me a car, gave me shit I needed. This is his words. To carry the load. Now today, my wife ain't got to do shit. And then Cisco started crying, and everybody stood up. So I want to dig into that before we get into anything else. Um, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. What nephew Tommy says, 'cause, Reggie was talking about stuff that a woman supposed to hold a man down, and I know all of us as women have heard this shit from whatever. I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing to hold your man down and blah blah blah, but I think you come to a certain age at some point in your life where it's like, okay, I don't mind holding you down, but I'm not 20 years old. And then it's not being shade to Cisco or to Tay, but I feel like when you're 20, 21, maybe even 18, you have room for that type of shit. It's like, oh, baby, I got you. You got my car, da da da. Not the baby boy type of shit, but kind of on that way. But she or him are not 20, 25. I don't think they're even 35. I'm not sure their age exactly. But the point I'm trying to make is that she, when her family said, and I don't want to get too far into the show, that y'all not on the same level, it really wasn't a shade towards him. It was more of looking out for her. You know what I'm saying? So I want to start with you ladies and see what you guys thought about that. Hold on, who is this? Ah, came right on time. Hey, Chaz.
Hey, what's up, Queen?
What's going on, King? Are you
Not too much. How
tired?
y'all doing, ladies?
He's in the building. Yes, yes, yes. So you came in right on time, Chaz. I'm so happy you came here. I can't wait to hear you just said. And so what I was telling the ladies, nephew Tommy with the brunch, one of the first days he said that his wife carried the load because he didn't have anything. And then, gave him a car, gave him whatever. And he starts crying and all the things.
Hold on, Queen. Hold on, Queen.
Okay.
Now, what you shouldn't do is exaggerate. He acted like he was crying,
Oh
but there
shit.
was no tears.
Facts.
Oh my
I
God.
said in the group chat he was looking for an Oscar.
Yeah.
She did say that. So, Chaz, you want to start it off? What's your opinion about that whole scene? First with Tommy, because I've never seen Tommy reference his life to any of the cast of all these years. I've never seen that. Am I wrong? I've never seen that. So, what was the purpose? It's almost like trying to say, Tay, give him a break. Give him a break. He's broke. Or not. I'm not going to say that. He don't have whatever, but hold him down. Da da da. I want to hear everybody's opinion. Go ahead, Chaz, since you started off a little bit.
I thought. I mean, I'm probably in the minority, but I thought it was a very whack,
Oh.
egotistical play at comparing Tommy's life to Cisco's life. Cisco is 40 something years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because I used to work out. I used to compete, and it takes a lot of discipline and sacrifice to
Okay.
like build up a really nice body.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he's
It
done that,
does.
that's where his time and his effort has been. It hasn't been to show himself that he can take care of himself. provide a roof over his head, buy an automobile, and then potentially court and take care of a wife.
Mhm.
He said he wanted a woman first, then a career. And like, there's just so many red flags with this guy, to the fact that like his own mama won't even help him,
Mm-mm.
from what he said. So there's just a lot there. And I thought Tommy's scenario was just, it was a cool inspirational moment in Tommy's life.
Mhm.
I don't think Tay and Cisco's situation is applicable in the least, especially given the age in which Tommy kicked off his career and needed help versus
Mm.
Cisco's age today.
Kind of like what I was saying, that, and I want Dina, I know she got something to say, that I said that when a woman is at 20 or 18, I feel they have room to do all those things. Like, I ain't got to, okay, cool, you got my car, whatever's going on, we got you. And then, like he says, as of right now, she doesn't have to, his wife doesn't have to worry about anything. That makes sense at the age that they are now, right? Dina, go ahead, mama.
Okay, holding your man down ain't a bad thing.
Mhm.
It's holding down a bitch ass nigga is a bad thing.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
If you holding down a man, right,
Mm-hmm.
there will be some return on your investment, ROI.
Okay.
Okay. But a lot of times, women mainly, there's a few men out there that do it because, you know, as a man, if you on point, you should, you know, get your woman up to your level as well. It should go vice versa, right?
Right.
But more so often we hear about the women. So as a woman, you know, if you in a position, you know, because they always say you should be equally yoked, because if the man gets sick, which typically men don't live as long as women, you should be able to hold your man down in times of illness, accident, for better, for richer, worse, all that other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that a lot of people are holding people down before marriage, and they holding down the wrong person.
Mm.
And
And they holding down the idea of a person.
yeah, they see the potential, but the potential in most situations, the way we're wired today, is your potential is what would you do in that situation? How would you make that situation right? How would you get out of that situation? That person isn't necessarily wired like you, so you spend a lot of time, effort, and energy trying to get that person to think like you, do like you, and what you're in love with is your own potential in the situation. And then
Ooh.
that just breeds a hot mess of chaos, because they 90% of the time, when you're holding down the wrong person, let me just preface that, and you're holding down the wrong person, they like, it's a free ride. I'm gonna ride it until, and fake it till I make it, or I'm gonna ride this train till I get kicked off. And then they'll take everything that they learned, and it's like a parasite. They take your ideas, your energy, this, that, and they leave you drained, and they move on to the next person, and they pretend to be all the things you tried to get them to be, until that situation don't work out no more. So you just gotta be careful. You know, sometimes when you do something like that, it's like the stock market. Sometimes the stock pop, and sometimes it drop.
Period. I agree with that. Oh, Dina, you giving today, mama. Erica, your thoughts on this?
Okay, first I felt like Tommy was, I don't know what I want to say
Ooh.
is gaslighting, but I'm like, why are you telling, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, we need more facts. Were you 40 when you started doing comedy? I
Oh
don't
my God.
know. But then yes, that
Right.
would be relevant. You know what I'm saying? If you fool, it doesn't, I think, I'm not sure, because I've heard different people say things, but doesn't Cisco already have kids that he can't afford child
Jesus.
support on?
I don't know.
If he does. So I'm just like, you know what I mean? And if we understood more about why he fell on hard times, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you meet somebody, because one of my favorite shows, Love After Lockup, if you meet somebody and they 40 and they getting out of prison, you already know what you got. You got somebody who ain't got nothing. But now here we have this man that seems to have affinities for modeling or acting or whatever, which is fine. Follow your dreams. But how you won't hook up to an anesthesiologist nurse to pay your way and have your babies?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if anything go wrong, you go, you know, if you with her, if he got kids, she gonna be paying the child support. So I do feel like Tommy is pushing it based off of his past 20 years ago. Like, yeah, in 20 years, hopefully Cisco will be successful, but he will also be like
Jesus
60,
Christ.
which is not
No. It just how you said it just sounded like damn.
40,
Not the new 40.
but it's like,
He didn't need a new
Not
40. He
knocking
needed to
people making
utilize
it.
the existing 40.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly. That's my thing. And it's kind of like, and to me, even on top of it, other than the fact that I think he probably wants an acting career or whatever, but to me, it's like, and I've seen this with other people, and even with myself, like if I'm really struggling, then why am I out here talking about I'm trying to meet somebody to marry? And I can't support myself. I'm on the bus. Like we gonna be on the bus together. Like I feel like you should focus. So the fact that you would even audition for this show, given your situation, and it'd be different if you were 20 and you're like, "Ooh, I'm just trying to, I'm on Love Island or something." But no, you are 40 and you living with roommates, ain't got no car. You Ubering to the gym or whatever, and now's your time to say you're ready. And to me, especially for love, for marriage, for children, and you halfway, you struggling to support yourself, I do have to look at him like, why do you think now is the time to bring a wife into this? Outside of what anybody else is saying, the fact that you think that is questionable maturity on your part, or you on this show trying to get on another show.
My question is just plain devil advocate, of course. Do we not think that even though a man or a woman who may not be financially stable should not find love? I've asked this before.
Okay,
I don't think anyone's saying that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I'm not saying anybody saying that. I'm just asking the question.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just come with the facts because that's what I do. Okay, so first of all, nephew Tommy started doing comedy in the late 1990s after he graduated Texas A&M University. However, he did not marry his wife until 2016. So maybe that was the struggle time. When whatever time he met, I couldn't find when they met. But let's just say, because nowadays men got to be with somebody 10 years before they get married. But anywho, but it could have been whatever time he met her, and then maybe by the time things started to pop out, whenever Ready to Love started, whenever the prank calls started giving good checks or whatever, is maybe when he got his money together and they got married. But I'm just saying, it was a long period of time that they could have been together where, she held him down, and now things are greater on the other side, because I just wanted to give some context of what happens when you do it right. Because sometimes there are the men, if they say, well, girl, it took him 10 years to marry you, but in that 10 years, we was buying a house. In that 10 years, we was putting school money away for the kids to go to college, and we had priorities, and to feed y'all just so y'all can come say our marriage ain't gonna work out wasn't top priority. That's all I got.
Go ahead, Chaz. What you think?
I agree with everything she said.
Erica, because I'm not saying that y'all saying this. I'm saying that because it's kind of a question if a man or woman is not financially stable, that they should be looking for love. That should be.
Well, I think anyone should be looking for love regardless of their situation. But I don't think you should go on national television at 40-something years old and try to convince everyone of a sob story to give you sympathy. It's concerning at 40 that you are living with roommates and you don't have an automobile. You don't have the basics of life. That's not judgment. That's just, what is your focus? And a man is supposed to be a provider. What is he providing Tay?
Interesting.
A peck?
What the hell? So that's kind of.
I mean, he pecked her.
Okay, I know what you're saying. That's kind of what the cousins was alluding to about the level of what the level that they were on, that they weren't on the same level, which I didn't agree with that. So go ahead, Edgar. Go ahead, Edgar. Go ahead, Mama. Go ahead.
All right. Piggyback off of that. I do feel like there's sort of, I guess the point I was making is there's sort of a hierarchy of needs. So if you happen to meet someone and fall in love, yeah, for sure. But if you don't have, and I'm not even saying you have to own, but if you don't have your own personal space outside of your room, and you don't have transportation in a city that probably needs transportation, then I feel like, even for me, like those would be my focus. If I happen to meet someone and fall in love, yeah, I'm not going to be close to it. But to be out here hunting for love and you don't have your basics together, and especially if he has children outside that he has to support. But what if his mother gets sick? Like, what if? Especially as you get older, you have other things that can kind of other responsibilities that can come on you. So to me, I'm not saying you shouldn't be looking for love. But to go on TV, and all of this, if you find love, great. But really, your focus should be trying to, if your goal is to be successful or to be in a space where you can support a family, your goal should be to get into that space, especially if something happened to you to kind of knock you off.
But that's if you're a hustler, right? Everyone doesn't have the hustle. Some people literally have their lives. They have their sob stories, or they have their ethics. Like the queen works hard. You got to really hustle after life, like we all have.
Yes, you have to. I mean, that's literally what it is. Even at 49, it's really the thing about it. A man or woman, whatever it might look like, you have to grind to give. You got to go. Like for me, I go to work, but then I'm doing interviews with CBS. They don't know that, nor do they care, because most of the journalists, that's all they do all the time. I have to go to my job to pay my bills, right? So, but that's a grinder for you where okay, yeah, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but I want to get the interview in. I go to sleep later. To me, it's like, I'm not saying he's not doing that, I'm not saying that, but when Tommy was saying it, it was like, was he triggered or something? Was he triggered by this season that he felt like they were coming for him because of the fact he didn't have the resources or the funds? I was just wondering, do you think that he was triggered by it? I'm talking about nephew Tommy.
I see where it could happen because again, he's in the 2 to 5% that had a good woman that held him down.
Okay.
And he was able to prosper, but that's the exception, not the rule. So, but I mean, that's just
either he was triggered or he saw an opportunity to give a performance.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because to be honest with you, there are a lot of comedians that I've met over the years who, when they were struggling, they always are married to someone who has a decent job, at least a teacher, a nurse or somebody, and someone who has good benefits, because now you have healthcare. So you have someone while you on the road making $200-$300 or whatever you're making in the beginning. So there's nothing really, you need someone stable to be at home. And if you have kids, to raise the kids and give everybody security until you blow up. So that's not a so uncommon thing, but to combine that with a dating show is where you losing me. So and in terms of Tay, if you want, I know people who have stay-at-home husbands. So if that's what you want to do, you're like, okay, I'm out here, I'm balling out of control, I'm working on my hours, you just gonna stay at home and take care of the kids or make sure the house is straight. I don't want to have to call plumbers and stuff. That's your job. Then that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, but don't gaslight us and try to get us to be like, oh, she's the ride or die. No, you know what I'm saying? She's the provider.
Well, in this day and age, to be honest, that's actually not uncommon, especially with this generation, where I've seen people on TikTok like, hey, my wife, showing the husband with the babies, I'm talking about small babies, changing the diapers, potty time, and then seeing the wife come in the door with the suit and shoes, and I'm tired, and he didn't made spaghetti or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a new generation. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I come from old school Louisiana parents. My mom was, but my mom worked as well. But what I'm saying is she still cooked the food. But in this generation, the men like, I'm cool with it. I'm happy to be home. Back in the day, men would frown and go crazy. You say you want me to stay home? Are you crazy? It wouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a different time. So I don't know. It's just men want you to hold, not all. Some men will have no problem with you holding them down while they stayed at the house with the kids. Now I don't know if if I could, I don't know. I just couldn't see myself at the time, younger, especially at my younger age, doing it. But I mean, it is. But I don't judge. I don't judge the couples. Some of them seem really happy. Got 4 or 5 kids. He changed diapers and shitty drawers and cooking food and spaghettios. Hey, you know what I'm saying? She doing all the working, coming home. I don't know. I don't know. It's a new thing to me. Um, so since we started crying, I know that Dina said it was fake or whatever. Angie meets up with Hussein. Well, going to meet her family. Hussein decides to dip out. Now, I thought that self-elimination was not allowed on Ready to Love. I've had several cast members tell me self-elimination was not allowed. Damn it. But now in 2026 or 2025, whatever year it is, Hussein decides to self-eliminate because of Rose, but yet you were so upset about the jail. I was confused by that whole situation. Didn't what your thoughts about that, Mama?
He confused. He it's like you said it because it like if you was gonna self eliminate because Rose went home, you should have fought for her in the liberation. So he confused. I'm confused because it's like I cut my nose off to spite my face because I was trying to be like, oh, this is unacceptable. Then they sent your girl home and knowing that she was your number one. So you should have at the end of this episode last week, instead of wasting Angie's time, even showing your face at the restaurant and not even drinking your drink, which is another felony because you was wasting alcohol. You should have just right after Cam sent her home, they should have panned over to you in the garden somewhere, and you could have self-eliminated and saved everybody's time. And then y'all could have went off and you could have apologized and said, I still want to work through it or whatever you was going to do.
It didn't make any sense. Chad, what you thought about that whole situation? Because I felt like that was a waste of Rose's time, in my opinion.
It's weird to me that because I saw the previews for the reunion.
Oh my God, yes.
So if all of this is true, that's a very intriguing plot to this story. I really want to hear more about what's going on, but I don't know. I thought it was weird that he's the one that pretty much sent her home.
Yep.
Because they would have had 4 couples go to the bridge. They want 4 couples to go to the bridge. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why he's remorseful, and maybe he reflected on the fact that he did tell Rose about his prior felony or convictions or whatever convictions they were. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's weird. I can't explain that one.
Super weird to me. Erica, I really was lost for words on that.
Now, the one thing, okay, so I don't necessarily buy that he's so upset over Rose. That's why he self-eliminated. I think he self-eliminated because he wasn't that interested in Angie. Because when he all of a sudden Angie was his number one, I was like, based on what? Like what? Which what was going on behind the scenes that we didn't miss? Cut to the X'd out footage or whatever. Because I was like, I have not really seen that much of a spark between you and Angie, really. So his suddenly making her number one seemed fake anyway. So to me, I felt like he's gonna self-eliminate rather than sit through a dinner acting the whole time. Like, oh yeah, I just chose her. She's so great. And the whole time he'd been in Rose face for however many weeks. So I felt like it was more like, okay, now that Rose is gone, I really don't have an attachment. Now I'm just pretending because she, now I'm just kind of faking it. And so I was just like, thank you. I appreciate that. You not wasted another night of our time here. That was very kind of you. Thank you, sir. I agree. He could have just self-eliminated last week after he sent Rose home. And that would have been, I guess, that would have saved us a scene or whatever. But yeah, I don't think he's so torn up over Rose because he better go so quick. But I think he's just not that into Angie. And it's kind of like, okay, how bad am I going to act just to get to the end? You know what I mean? Just to make it to the end. So I kind of was like, okay, I understood it. Cause I was like, I don't really see anything, she let you meet her child's father and stuff. Right. She might be liking him, but I never really saw, I don't know, nothing that they showed from what I recall on the show from a million months ago made me think that he was that into Angie that now, like it was so close between her and Rose. So I was like, okay, yeah, let her go. Let her family, don't put her family.
I
through
felt like that
this
Rose
situation.
kind of, I'm not Rose, I'm sorry. Angie kind of acting like she didn't give a shit either. That's why I was like, I don't get this whole scene. I can tell you guys didn't care, right? It was like you guys were hanging on for, like you said, Erica, for a scene to be on a show. I don't know. This whole season, I thought Rich Lesson's first season, the very first season, child, and I do not understand how we come from Dallas to this. I'm sorry. We have a break after break after break. People forget people's names. Like I just don't understand what is going on with Rich Love. It has gone down. I'm sorry, whoever don't like what I'm saying. I just don't get it. It's used to not be this way. It used to be, it have your moments, boring episodes. They have it. But this entire season has been just and again, not blaming the cast, because I feel the same way about a lot of reality TV I'm covering recently. It's all watered down Kool-Aid with no sugar and edited down to carry a narrative they want to push. And I just didn't understand it. Go ahead.
And I agree. And I think OWN has had issues, particularly with these large, crazy gaps in the shows. Like in a lot of the, love and marriage shows, all of these shows where it's like, and especially this show, because at least in the love and marriage show, you halfway are attached to the people because it's the same cast every year. I'm like, we're watching the flashbacks. I'm like, who are those people? I don't remember. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, like, unless they were on your live, I'm like, who were they? When did they got eliminated 8 months ago? Like, I don't know who that is. So it's like, okay, this isn't the type of show. You can't have like basically a game show and take off several months and now think we remember what happened. You know what I mean? Or we're going to be, because now I feel like, well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, realistically, if the show had shown all the way through, I would be looking at Cam crazy. Like, what you mean you still don't know? But it seems like,
we don't get into all that. Yes, we don't get into all that.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that. But I think that gap really hurt the show a lot. And it's hurt all of the shows or most of the shows that I watch on OWN, because it's like it's so far behind what the people are posting on their social media. It just makes the show like irrelevant, boring. I mean, I don't know what they're doing over there, but I
don't know what's happening about the whole race.
Email. That's what I'm gonna say. This whole season could have been an email.
Damn. But the sad thing is, I agree with that, because the thing about it, like I said, it's been super lackluster. And like I said, you come from Dallas, where I'm gonna tell you something. I think Dallas tore her own ass up. Let me be clear. I think Dallas told they both seasons, and they was like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? Between Tequila and Chaz, especially, I just think they're almost like, I can't. We're gonna make this season super cookie cutter. Okay, Donna Reed, B Witch, whatever. We're gonna make this super Cosby show. We're gonna keep it super clean and just And the thing about it, Chaz, talking about self-eliminations. Give me your opinion. Am I wrong with what I'm saying? They OWN did not allow that.
Didn't Chaz self-eliminate but come back?
No, he tried. Chaz?
I self-eliminated twice and was allowed to come back twice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he a unicorn.
So I don't know why. I think you can eliminate. I think towards the end, though, they try to really discourage you, because they did try to discourage that from me too. Because they need to like close it out. And like one thing they always tell you is it has to make sense for the fans. It has to make sense for the fans. So they probably, strongly encouraged him and probably even threatened to pursue the contract, because they tried that with me. Like they'll tell you that you're in breach of contract. So he probably had to hold on probably to that moment.
Mm-hmm. Damn. So, that makes sense. So you say he wanted to leave before and just waited until that moment.
That's what I think. Yeah. I think he wanted to leave before, and they made him kind of like hang on in there until it got to that
finale.
scene.
Right.
Yeah.
So
they probably told him, pretend you're really upset about Rose.
They did, I'm sure. Because every time I see somebody say, okay, I got to go. No, they were told, hey, you got to go, man. Wrap it up.
Wow. flash to the reunion scene where Rose is going off with him hard in the paint. I'm like, what is going on? So you can tell what your guys are saying matches what we're saying, because like, why would Rose be so upset at the reunion? Like, I thought she was gonna damn near jump on Hussein's lap. Then you got freaking Angie going off with Cam. It's a lot going on.
Yeah,
to
but
me.
you got to say what Rose said. Rose said you yourself have been incarcerated too.
Well, Chad brought
So
up
there's the pot calling the kettle black.
Chad brought that up earlier. That's why I didn't say it again. But
Mhm.
I'll go wait to the end to really get into that. But yeah, I mean, the thing about it, she's very upset behind it, because it's like, you broke up with me or whatever. Don't talk to me just because of that shit. And you also was in jail. To me, bro, who are you? That doesn't make any sense. I'm just gonna say it right now. That makes no sense off you be so pretentious to think it's a deal breaker. But you've been locked up too. I don't know what the charges are. Dina, get on that. We need to find his whole name out. No shade. I need the exposure. What's the charges? What you was in there for? I want to know. So the next thing, let me see. Make my notes. So I got little notes here. Let's see, who is it? I went too far ahead in my notes. So okay, so Tay and Cisco, they meet Auntie. I liked Auntie. I liked cousin. Baby, they had notes, and well, she had notes. And a couple of questions were, how do you handle your anger? That's from the cousin. And he says he works out. That was his only response. And do you have a type? He pretty much said that she was his type. He answered those questions quickly. Auntie had notes. Do you make sure to laugh? I thought it was a cute question. And what are your intentions at this stage of the relationship? He said possibly marriage and kids in the future, and to financially take care of them. Kind of along the lines of what Chaz is saying. If I am Auntie asking my niece, boyfriend, potential, whatever, my next question, follow-up question would be this. Yes, at this age, do you have that now? And it would be a disrespect. You're 40-something years old, 45, whatever it is. I'm going to ask you, are you ready to do that? Because my niece is ready to do that in 2 years. So are you ready to get married and have kids and take care of all of them? At this time, he's not. He's never mentioned this career thing he has. As a blogger, I get it. Going for your dreams. I'm not going to lie and I say that what he was saying, I didn't understand it, because I do. But at the same time, I know I have to work. I have to. There's nothing. I can't just sit at home. There's some bloggers who gave up everything and they're big now, but they struggled badly. I don't want to do that. So I work. He's in that mode of, I have this career I'm trying, and they never says what it is. I have this career I'm trying to do, or whatever the dream I have. But it's almost like I want the world, my family, whoever I love, to just take care of me until I get there. That is difficult for anybody, to put that all on one person, regardless if you're a woman or a male. Like, hey, I'm trying to be a comedian. Like Dina was saying, I'm trying to be whatever. At 40-something years old, hey, hold down for me until I get there. My nigga, we at 49. What the hell? We at the almost retirement stage. I'm supposed to start over with you? Dina, go ahead. Your thoughts. You there, mama?
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I was looking for receipts. What was the question?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying is that, for me, my situation, my life, Chad, you do too. And the thing about it is, I'm not gonna ask, or I would love it, but to be able to say, oh baby, just let me stay at home and blog. You know what I'm saying? We're not paying no bills. That's a big ask for anybody. What I'm trying to say. And especially at the age of 49, 50, or whatever. It's like, bro, this is a retirement stage. This is
Right, and not only that, shit is way more expensive. Like, you definitely need 2 incomes and a side hustle.
I'm just saying. Chaz, your thoughts as a man about, again, I'm gonna say this again. I understood his thoughts about having a dream and a career and wanting it. I cannot say that I don't want it every day. That everything I do for my blogging blows up, and this is my everyday thing I do every day. I get up every day, and that's all I do. But it hasn't happened. So I can't expect him, my fiance, to just completely hold it down while I just try to work it out. Because you never know, it may not even happen. So I'm trying to figure out, what is his career that what is his dream that he's trying to get? They never said it. But Chad, what do you think about that?
I really don't know. Like, it's hard for me to comprehend a man that thinks the way that he thinks.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to throw shade. It's just, I was taught to be a provider,
Mhm.
right? So like me hearing his explanations, me hearing parts of his story, it concerns me that at his age, I don't know how long his season has been
Mhm.
one of
Mm.
like needing assistance to get by, but it sounds like it's been going on for a very long time. So this at this point, this could be just who he is too.
Mm. Erica.
Yeah, I think one of the things I think is interesting is he doesn't really give a time frame on it, and that's the question. Hopefully her aunt or cousin would follow up, because it's like, well, yeah, you want this family,
Right.
but when? Because her window,
Yes.
like she said, is 2 years. That's why she and Khalil
Exactly.
supposedly didn't work out. But really, Cisco not going to be stable enough to support you in 2 years unless, I don't think, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's probably not going to be where he would like. 2 years is
Mhm.
a very short amount of time. And so, luckily she has a great job, so she can support it. But it's like, okay, realistically, she's going to be supporting you in 2 years. And I've heard, I'm not sure, but I have heard, like, on other platforms or whatever, that either he's trying to model or act or something like that. So I feel like we are going to see, like, I think he is in some sort of like that mushroom coffee commercial. I did hear that. I think we're going to see him on Tubi, which is fine. I'm not
Right.
hating on Tubi movies, but now you're here talking about, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like, okay, keep it 100. You're not really coming into this trying to be a supporter, a provider. You come in here looking for a sponsor, which is not, all artists need sponsorship. So I'm not saying you don't need it, but it's like, okay, that's really what was happening. And it's like, she's sort of, whatever, she sort of sprung, but it's like, okay, outside of his looks and what he's
Oh
laying
no.
down in the bedroom, okay with this? Are you okay with supporting him? Because once you have your kids in 2 years, you're gonna
Oh
have to support
Lord.
him and the kids. But you can probably do it easily. So, as long, to me, it's like, just be real with yourself and not under that dream that, okay, he's gonna suddenly blow up in 2 years, because that's probably not gonna
It's kind of sad when you say it that way, Erica. Like he's looking for a sponsor because you can, if you really want to get serious, we can say, okay, did you come on this show? And I'm not saying he did. For anybody who come in my DMs talking shit, but to look at all aspects of the coin, you could say that he came on the show to be seen. Most reality cast members, whether it be a love show, competition, or whatever, some people go on money shows knowing they're not going to win the money, but they know that they're going on a competition show. Their Instagram is going to blow up, their YouTube going to blow up, or whatever social media they have, and so is their name. And nothing's wrong with that. Nothing at all. You're being shown, you're being seen, especially if you have a craft you're trying to perform or whatever. All of a sudden, now everybody knows who you are. I'm going to your website, buying your stuff, whatever. Just be honest about it and stand on it. Is what I've always said about reality TV cast. If that's what you're trying to do, hey, cool. That's all I'm saying. Say, be real and say, I came on here to be exposure. 'Cause at the age I am now, it hasn't happened. I'm trying to be a model slash actor, da da da. But now all of a sudden I'm getting calls, DMs. I'm a resident of Philadelphia, da da da. There's nothing wrong with that. I just say stand in it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's true for anybody coming, but I just say that just stand in it. So that what the biggest hurdle was. He said his career choice. Auntie said he's very loving. The cousin said, but their lifestyles is on the same playing field. Okay. So I love Angie's family, by the way. They were so cool. Angie's brother was funny as hell, and his wife was cool too. When they was talking to Cam, something I like the wife said, "Don't keep score." I love that she said that. Don't keep score when you guys have fights or whatever. They kind of he felt like her family did not ease his mind about her anger because the brother literally says to her, "You are scaring him," and she laughed about it. She was like, "I'm being serious. You are scaring him, him away. You may be scaring you a love away by your actions." She got quiet, and I want to come to you, Chance, about that because I know that when you're young, you do things impulsive. The window thing I've never done to anybody, but things do happen. And the brother pointed that out. That's his own sister saying that, like, I think that you're actually scaring this guy away, and maybe others, kinda. What do you think about that statement he made?
Yeah, I think he was giving her good advice. I honestly, and I don't. I think I missed that session when you talked about like the busting of the windows and stuff like that. But I mean, did she ever say how old was she? Like, was she in her
She never
teens or
said.
20s?
She never said.
I
We just
think that
assume
matters,
younger.
right? Because
Right.
we have more crash outs when we're younger. But
Yes, we do.
no, I thought it was kind of intriguing and hot that she, said she did that and she could do it again. And like she said, just don't push me to that level. I thought that was
Mhm.
kind of like that. That's appealing to me. I mean, I like there are valid crash outs.
Okay, Dina. Somebody I know that in her younger days she was this one crashed out herself. Love you, girl, but I know you did. Your, your, we won't say it on air because we want to keep everything legal. So your thoughts,
Look, my statute of limitations is up.
hey, just in case I'm protecting you. So your thoughts on the brother and just the whole situation.
I mean, here's the thing. A person who's never crashed out at 30, 40, 50, whatever years old can be
Mhm.
pushed to crash out. You know what I'm saying? But if they're telling you, yeah, I did this however many years ago it was, I mean, it's been a good 20, 30 years for me. But I'm letting you know up front, I have the conversation up front. Like, if you test me, it will not end well for you because God don't play about me. I might
Okay.
not even have to crash out. God gonna crash out behind me. So
Right.
I'm just putting it out there. So if you let them know in advance what the consequences are and they cross that line, may the force be with you and praise Jesus.
Lord have mercy. Erica.
I think the brother was giving her good advice.
Mhm.
However, I think the
Mhm.
whole, oh, you're too spicy. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, I don't know. Like to me, I'm like, no, you're like saying you would still commit vandalism.
Mm.
So, to say that now you know what I'm saying, you are busting out people's, especially someone if they have an expensive car over an argument, like as a full grown person in their 30s or 40s, and your response is sort of like, well, if you push me to it. To me, the fact that she still thinks that's cute, that her family is calling it spicy, as opposed to being like, girl, let's all go back to therapy and work it
Oh,
out,
cool.
especially since you call yourself trying to be a therapist. So yeah, like I just, they're kind of like, does that scare you? Well, it's not
Right.
does it scare you. Like people don't, like, do you want people committing crimes when you get into an argument? No, and I get it in that, like, on a movie or something on TV, it looks hot, but if it's your car and like,
I felt like I felt
I
like
wouldn't want that in your life.
I felt like every time she would call him after that, she probably would hear this.
Your call is very important to us. Please hold.
Every time every time she oh my god. Because I just feel like he felt like y'all about as crazy as she is. I cannot. This family love y'all, but I'm out of here. Oh, I got somewhere else to go. Look, so I really was trying to save because I really want to get into the whole Sahara. I want to hear everybody's thoughts about. Okay, so Sahara and her sister, who Lord have mercy. Ah, Jesus. So Sahara's sister, of course, with Cam and talked to whatever, right? The whole statement of we passed the meet. We had. Oh, I'm sorry. I went too far. Right here. My bad. Went too far here. Meeting the sister and everything else. It went crazy left 5 minutes after he sat down. I felt like the sister was feeling Cam like, oh, he cool. I like him. But Sahara was so fixated on, and I want to get you guys' opinion about this, please. 24 hours before the decision, you still don't know. Now, I will admit, sitting there with the sister, her constantly saying, "What's the decision? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You don't know yet. What you gonna do?" I get that probably was annoying, but at the same time, I was feeling Sahara. Like, why are we still doing this? You sit Rose sit home when I thought you connected to the most. right? Your family said I was similar to your past. You said you were feeling me. We had a kiss date last night. What's the tea? You and Angie had nothing. So I don't understand why there's still a predicament of child decision making. I'm sorry with you, Chad. What's your thoughts about that? I know you like Sahara too, Chaz.
Oh, I'm sorry, your phone had a little static. I mean, all right, I like Sahara a lot. And I like that she stays true to herself. I like
You
that.
can't. Oh, Chad, you're very. We don't want to hear you. You're very staticky.
I'm staticky.
Yeah.
How now?
Come on, come back in.
Okay.
Okay. Dina, go ahead, Mama. I love Sahara too, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know that whole thing. Like, usually you have a good vibe about where you're at in your number or whatever, and the way I don't want to get too far ahead of where we going, but the way it played out is just like you strung people along for so long, not letting them know the standing or whatever, and then now you're mad because you messed up in the communication and the reassurance of what you should have let somebody know at some type of inkling of what you were thinking. And then, if you leave a woman's mind to wander, she'll wander off to another man or to the gym to reclaim herself.
But okay, so when Cam and her was sitting there, he's being polite the whole time with the sister or whatever. But then when she kept on saying, he said, "Get off the gas!" Like, stop saying that. He got frustrated with her. And when a man tells you that for the other people, that's some real shit. Chaz, am I wrong? Because when she kept saying it, he was like, "Get off of that." But he didn't say it rudely, but he said to the point where it was like, "I'm tired of hearing this." You know what I'm saying? In front of her sister. I mean, when a man says something in front of your family, then all you can say is, Eric, everybody, if your man sitting there telling you stop, in front of the people, it's a different place with yell at. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to hear it anymore. And she was constantly repeating it, right? Not saying she was invalid to have her feelings, but damn, he's trying to get to know the sister, and you literally are interrupted to say, "What's your decision? What you think? What's going on? What do you think?" And I'm just like, girl, and that's the only thing I can say. Well, I was saying I understood how she felt and why, but I didn't think there was a moment to express that. In my opinion, she seemed angry as she sat down. Chaz, you ever talk now?
Yeah. How am I sounding?
You sound great. Go ahead, King.
Okay. Um, I don't know why he didn't make his pick known by then, right? So Rose is gone.
Mhm.
So he has two connections left. Angie, I really want to understand what happened to her. But no, I mean, you're playing in her face at this point, and Zahara is not going to let anybody play in her face.
Mhm.
Like she's literally told him, "You have 12 hours to make a decision," and then she finally said, "I'm going to pick me," and I don't blame her because she's right. We're at the end of this, the very end, and you still are going to hold me on like I'm selectable. She just
Mhm.
let him know, you don't select me. You either pick me up front or you don't F with me at all. And like she stood on business. I respect her for that. I think she did great.
No, what? No, before we get to that part, I'm talking about at the dinner with his sister. How'd you feel about that when she was constantly asking him what he wanted to do when he was trying to get to know the sister, and the
Oh,
sister was feeling him.
I I kind of felt he was trying to show the sister that he can relate to her on different levels. That's why he was like saying that, like, chill out, hey, calm down, hey, I don't want to talk about that. Like just kind of showing that, hey, we're deeper than you may know.
Right. I agree with that. Erica.
I think he was there to meet the sister to kind of get, for them both to get some more answers. But I do feel like she has some insecurity issues. And I think in the dinner, she started to kind of spiral a little bit.
I
Because
agree.
at the end of the day, even though he really liked her and chose her, and he did go to bat for her, but he did kind of, I don't know if it was him or producers, but it was sort of share the room, keep it a secret type shenanigans going on. So it's sort of like he, even though it's like she's always been the person who's been in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? And maybe not the person that he's quick to, you know, quick to just be like, okay, she's my number one no matter what. He knows she was his ride or die. But yeah, like depending on how it was filmed or whatever, it is coming down to the end. So now that you sent Rose home, she really should be your number one. And I think it's reasonable for her to want that that validation. It's not unreasonable, but I think her spiraling like that showed a lot of her insecurities. And it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, really, if you look at it, like, okay, you didn't tell nobody, you know, or you didn't want Rose or whoever to really know that we were sharing a room, you know, just whatever. Like, she
Oh
had
yeah.
valid points or whatever.
Mhm.
But it's kind of like, if she's real, to me, I feel like she was afraid of not being chosen. And
Oh wow.
but she was finally starting to see his BS. But I think the fact that, I mean, I like that she chose herself, but it's like, no, stand in your power. You know what I'm saying? Because we've seen other people where you let the person say, I choose you, and then be like, no. You know what I mean? So to me, it seemed like, well, we won't get to that part, but even in the dinner, the way she kept sort of passively aggressively saying, well, I know you got other places to go.
Yes, yes.
Keep
There you go.
pushing it and pushing it. Where it's like, the point of this dinner is for your sister to get some answers from him. Now you're just basically taking over with an argument. We're not even moving forward with anything. And it's reflecting, and it's just, to me, it just made her look like she has reasons to gripe, but I'm like, okay, no,
This
stand
is
in
what
your,
I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? And that's the only thing I would really want for her, because it's like, girl, you are great, for real. And I think, you know, ever since that early on in the season when she was at the bottom a couple of times, I think she's had that, I don't want to be rejected on TV. And, you know, I think she has a lot going on in terms of the rejection of it. And, you know, and I just would want her to just let him hang himself, because he has been trifling. So, you know, but I like that she chose herself at the end, but I felt like she was starting to spiral even at the dinner, really.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. I think at the dinner with the sister, she came in on 10. It's almost like I don't know what it was about the dinner, even when she was like, you know, nice to meet you, bro. And she was like, you didn't even earn that, bro. I was like, damn. I'm like, what what happened? You know, you just have so much. I felt she had so much anger. I don't know. I just feel like that. The first thing I said was that whole talk alone, even when he left and he headbutted her with his hand, I was like, okay, they cute. But he was frustrated with her and what she was doing. And so I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that. I thought he was going to choose it because of just that whole conversation. It was a lot. But I knew more connected to her than Ranji. So I just didn't know what was happening. But she told her sister, I don't know about you. I don't know if I'll be with you. You know, she was being, you know, she said, I don't want to, I don't know even talk about you. Dina, what do you think about that? I mean, do you think she crashed out too much at the dinner with her sister?
Yes.
Mm.
Because you should sit back, watch, and observe. So what she should have said was, you know, she should have hyped her sister up, like casually work these questions into the conversation, and I'm gonna sit back and observe. But it was like, I'm agree with Erica. It was given insecure, maybe a little bit desperate, impatient. I ain't gonna beg nobody to be with me. Either you is or you ain't. And so I think she was giving off like, okay, maybe she knew, you know, because you know, some of his other connections had fell off, that okay, I need to know, am I the one or the two, the one or the two, the one or the two. And so I think like that should have been a private conversation between them, not crashing out in front of your sister, or like I said, go about it a different way. There's always ways to get information. If I want to know, well, before we had location services, I would ask one kid where the other kid was, and then call the kid and be like, "Where you at?" We'll see if they was gonna lie or not. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like now we got location services, so you can't even.
I know, right?
But you know, there's always more than one way to skin a cat to get the information. I'd have sat there, play calm, cool, collected, And easily the sister could say, well, I know you had multiple connections, and I've been informed that one went home or whatever. Where do you and my sister stand now? Or you know what I'm saying? Instead
Right.
of her, what you doing, what you doing, what you doing, what
Yep.
you doing, there could have been various different other methods to gain that information.
Oh, I love how you said that. I completely agree with you, Dina. I wish she would have. I don't know. I just wish she would have just did things in a different way. I'm not saying that she's wrong or people gonna say come out to chat. I'm not saying that. I just wish she would have done things in a different way at that moment. Still have your feelings, be validated, all these things, but you were doing a lot, mama. I'm just gonna say that. So anyway, so we get to the whatever decision day. Jay and Kiera, he says, I choose you, of course. I'm sorry, we forgot about Jay Kiera. But let's briefly go over them real quick. I love when Jay talk about Kiera, even the confessional. The first thing he says is Bay. Bay come here with his fam. She talks about her. He's been talking about her like that since the beginning. So I feel like Jay and Kiera had a genuine connection. And the whole thing with him and Snare was weird. We talked about that before previously, but the whole leg and the grab and throat, whatever. But I think he sincerely wanted Kiera from the jump, right? As the cousins, really dream girls, as he called them, um, liked him, but they also said you have a flirtatious thing. But then when he left, they called out Kiera and said, "Girl, you the same exact thing as he does. Y'all just alike." And I love that. I enjoyed watching their chemistry and their family chemistry. I could see it at the cookout, Thanksgiving dinner, whatever. I could see all that with them. So, quickly, briefly, thoughts on Jay and Kiera, Chaz.
Oh, I like those two. I think they have a really cute relationship, and I hope it works out for them. I don't know what the reunion is going to foretell, but
I know, right?
yeah, I like that whole interaction, and I'm glad they were able to work through their challenges. Their family and friends gave them some really good advice, but I like those two
Mhm.
together so far.
Dina,
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
Erica.
Erica. Um, eh, they're
Oh,
all right. I mean, some of these people, I'm like, do they have a written agreement in the back? Like what?
oh my
I
God.
do feel like they don't have other connections for sure.
Mm,
I'll say
okay.
that. I think he does like her. I don't really think he's necessarily. I don't know if they're ready to move into anything really deeper, but I think they'll have some fun and hang out or whatever. Um, I think it was interesting that they seemed to be really impressed with his sort of basically, I'm going to pay for everything. So now we good. So that was
Mm.
interesting. I'm confused as to why he never dresses up for anything, but maybe Cisco can give him some tips. Also, I
Oh
didn't
my
really
God.
like, and maybe it's just me because I haven't seen all of this seasons, but I didn't like that no one brought the mamas or aunties nothing. Like no flowers, not a piece of chocolate, nothing.
Mm.
That's
So
because ain't he the one with all them damn kids? He can't dress because he can't afford it.
Oh my God. That's
Don't
about
he
Jay.
have 5
yeah, but he
kids?
could get
Oh,
the
it's all right.
braids done. He could get a cousin to redo them fuzzy braids. But okay,
That's true.
I'll
That's
let
true.
you slide on the outfits. But yeah, so it's kind of like he's so casual with stuff. He's so laid back. I think I don't really have anything bad. I'm just not sure if they seem like they're having fun. I don't know how deep the connection truly is, so it'll be interesting to see what's going on with them with the reunion. Hopefully, because they both seem kind of cool, but it kind of seems like we don't have any other choices. We're gonna ride this out. But but maybe they'll show, hopefully they'll prove.
Hello? What happened?
Nothing, I'm done.
Okay. No, just because I was like, make sure my headphones didn't go out. Okay, so some people in chat said, um, she went about it wrong. I'm assuming it's about Sahara, but I agree with her that he should have known by then. He should have had his mind made one of them by then. It also been producers telling Sahara to choose herself, so there would be a whole bunch of yeses. Oh damn it. Okay, well that's actually a good point. So going into my notes. Yeah, the Jack Daniels is kicking in. So I know this live gonna be in it very soon. Okay, so Angie said, I'm sorry, Sahara said, because obviously when we saw the meetup, we saw, of course, Jay, we knew we were gonna choose Kiera. We wasn't surprised by that. They want to keep the scene going, but going to the next couple. Of course, Cinco said, I'm gonna choose Tay. We all know that Tay chose Cinco, and so did Kiara chose Jay. We get to the climax of the episode, which is Sahara and Cam, and he's standing there trying to tell her that I'm choosing you. He could never get it out because Sahara was like, "What you doing? You don't know yet? What's the answer? What you doing?" And he could not. She's like, "I'm gonna pull something for Tommy." She said, "We passed the meat. We get the bone. You chew on the gristle." I mean, she was just going in, and I felt like Cam had no breathing room to say anything. And then he was like, "I choose you." She said, "Okay, cool. I choose me too." So y'all go ahead and give me your thoughts. This is the finale. This is the end of it. She was upset because you couldn't 24 hours before you couldn't make a decision. Cam was like, "I was going to choose you." She said, "I'm gonna choose me too." He said, I was following the process." She said, "You was dragging it, and we're done. Are we done yet? Are we done?" And walked away. So, Chaz, your thoughts. This is it. This is the last part.
I actually, I do agree with you, Queen. I agree that she kind of spazzed out. Um, but maybe she just had it up to here. It's a 6 week, 5.5, 6 week experience.
Mhm.
And at the end of it, you're literally just over it. You just want it just to wrap up. And I think that's just kind of where she was.
As a man, if you are, and Chaz, just being honest, following the process means you're following the whole entire thing, which means that if you're dating somebody or whatever, you have a connection, you have to make a decision the night before, or whatever your time limit is. You can't tell people how to control how they do their decision making skills,
I
whatever.
I agree. I agree.
So she chose to do it, and he wanted to do it at that time. He was struggling with it, but
Yeah, but
Sahara
that's
was
the
always
problem,
forward.
right? Because
Okay,
if
go ahead.
there is a connection, then there should be communication.
Mm.
So the fact that she was never on the same page with him regarding whether or not he was going to pick her, and I think too she got over the fact that she's waiting for him to say "I pick you," and I think all of that was just like I'm just over this dude.
Dina, do you feel the same way, Mama? Hold
I
on.
was muted. Hold on. I was there. It's my bad. I was muted. Like I said before, piggybacking off Chaz with the communication portion of it, but you can also read a person's body language, right?
Mhm.
Like when I walk into the room, if he don't look at me like a pork chop that just came off the grill, it's not gonna work. So I could just because I was watching at the end. 'Cause, I woke up late. And I wasn't even looking at the words. I was just looking at the body language towards each other.
Mhm.
And I was like, this ain't going to work. Because it feels like you've been playing with me for so long. And then you can't even get the words out. Like, he should have started off like, I know this journey has been difficult for you and I. And at times we really haven't communicated. But today I'm here to say what I need to say to put your mind at ease. And she just shut up and sat down. But the stuttering, the can't get the words out, the body language, the whatever, like if you finna tell somebody you want to not be with them forever, but at least continue the journey to see what could take place. It's a whole demeanor, body language, the words that you use, all that stuff. It's not like, all right, look, who I really wanted left. So that's what it was giving me. Who I really wanted, I realized they wasn't the one for me. So congratulations, you the runner up because Miss America didn't want the title.
Oh damn.
So did
Uh,
they ever say what happened to Angie? Did I
he
miss
no
that part?
when he went there, he had a choice, Angie or Sahara, and so they wouldn't show us Sahara, but I knew I saw her hair. But the woman that was standing there was the one that he chose. Sahara or Angie didn't know it, so Angie, for all we know, is standing in a bridge somewhere waiting on Cam, but Cam chose to go to Sahara, right? And so it's like, to me, it's like she didn't know it at the time because she was pissed off because of the night before. Things you guys all said collectively about how long he been dragging it or whatever. But if she would have just let him talk, in my opinion, I felt she jumped the gun. She assumed, in my opinion, he was going to choose Angie. Or like I think Erica said this earlier, not be rejected on TV. So I'm going to just go and break up with you before you break up with me. Type of situation. I don't know. Erica, what do you think about that, mama?
Yeah, exactly. To me, I feel like she should have chosen herself. I'll say that off the top. However, I feel like instead she said, I choose me, but she was really afraid of rejection because she would never let him speak. And if she really was going to choose herself, she could have just either let him talk or just from the beginning just say, I choose myself and be done. But she was so scared that he was going to say, so she's asking, what? Where we at? What's the decision now? You know what I'm saying? She was so, I see what Chaz is saying, like she's over it, but she definitely was like she was totally spiraled out. Like I want to say she didn't sleep those 12 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like these 12 hours contemplating, going through the dinner, word by word, what he say. Then he bumped my hands. What did that supposed to mean? We kissed the other night. And I beg to wonder what happened when they was in the room over the weekend, over the getaway. So I think she spent those 12 hours like just festering and could not stand in her power and just let him say whatever and still be like, I choose myself, because she was sort of number two. And he came off like when he first started, he was like, from the beginning, you've always been there for me, trying to halfway make it seem like a Cisco speech, like you've been number one from the beginning, when we all know that's not true. You know what I'm saying? That was never the case. So that was kind of a little bit of BS when he first started his little speech. But she was so afraid of being rejected that she could not let him finish. And I agree with you. Either way, she should chose herself. But by not letting him talk, she's the one who ended up looking scared to me.
Scared, damn.
I'm glad she's not, she could do better, you know what I'm saying, regardless, because he was sort of on BS. But it's like, you have to know, I'm not sure she's getting there, and I think she's growing, but I still feel like she has this rejection of fear and needs to really come to the place like, nah, for real, I'm choosing something other than you, because this is, she's absolutely right. Like if it was the night before and you still don't know, and I've been the ride or die from the beginning,
right?
It is a problem. Like everything she said was right, but the way she was acting came off as fearful when I saw it.
That's the part that was unfortunate for her. So with that being said, she said, Bubba, I'm out. Are we done yet? She walked away. G-style. I respected it. I understood it. The reunion was crazy. Now, editing, like I said before, editing, I don't know if the whole pregnancy thing, and I gotta be careful because I've been called out for years for saying Jason had a baby in a bay. Jason I'm very had a baby in a way. He did not have one. Liz hates me to this day because of that. It is what it is. So I'm not gonna say he got a baby in a way. It was kind of said,
insinuated
during the reunion clip. I hope they're gonna try to say the baby's a damn dog or some shit. I'm gonna drag the dog shit. I can't stand the editing stuff. To me, it was like, what are you talking about? Expect the baby, a house? What's going on? Because I want to know what's going on between Angie going off on Cam saying, keep my name out your mouth. And, of course, we know about Rose. What happened with that? I don't know. We're going to have the reunion. I feel like I asked Coley about it a little bit. She's like, girl, I don't know. I'm hoping Coley will be on here to speak about the reunion because she actually was there for that, looking gorgeous as usual. She's just going to try to come on here, talk about this weekend, because the reunion is like going to be more exciting than the actual season. Your thoughts on the reunion clip, Dina?
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. Finally, we get some heat. That's all I got.
Chaz, that's my trick out.
I noticed they had them seated pretty far apart. Did you notice that?
I did.
Both of those benches or sets of chairs were like really spaced out. I'm like, whoa.
They remember Dallas. It was like, look, let's keep it cute.
Yeah. Hopefully they had more than one security guard.
Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. Erica, the reunion clip, your thoughts? Chaz.
I agree. The clip looks way more interesting than most of the season. It's so funny. So I'm so interested. Like you said, I want to see what was the issue with Angie and Cam or whatever, that beef. And it's interesting that Rose was the one who is bringing up the stuff about Cam. Like I get the Hussein part, but I'm kind of like, girl, you didn't even like Cam really. So who cares if he has somebody pregnant or not? Like, why are you? So it'll be. I want to see it because the way they have Rose looking like she coming in on 10. So
Man, crashed out.
He is the bone collector of the
Hair,
reunion.
the hair flying everywhere. I was like, "What's going on? You the hairdresser too?" No, she's Rose. I was really confused by the hair because you're the hairdresser. Anyway, I'm sorry. Just I'm sorry. Too much alcohol. I'm sorry. My bad. Damn. So, in my opinion, the whole clip looked like Rose is going in hard. I kind of hate this show just like a black woman. Oh, I'm angry. I'm angry. Because then people gonna say, "Oh my gosh, she's so bitter over her elimination or bitter over Cam." It's probably not that. I'm pretty sure it's more of the things that happen after the show is over. We all know that when the show is over, cast talk behind the scenes, things happen. It does make the reunion more spicier. The one thing that I get mad about they recorded the reunion too damn fast. They should record the reunion like at least after the first episode or something. Let people see, bloggers, everybody talk about crap, then get into it. Don't wait until don't do it too early, and then all you have is their reactions. Knowing that we're gonna have our own reactions. I've always felt they try to protect the brand and how the show is. They're making it more watered down. I just want to say that too. Anyway, so the reunion will be spicy. I'm hoping it'll be only one part one, no part two, no 2, 3. It should be all in one thing. Jesus Christ. And then that should be the end of that for us.
I think it is 2 parts though.
Are you serious? Oh my God.
On Philo, it says part 1 and part 2 on there.
Where my phone at? Hold on, my phone at. First of all, I don't even see how they can be a part 1, part 2. It's not even worth a part 1, part 2. I'm sorry.
I think we're gonna need one part just to refresh on the people who got eliminated. I mean, other than the people who've been on this panel, I have to be reminded of those other folks. Like, I'm just gonna say that right now.
And learn everybody's names. To me, to do oh my God, wait a minute. Let me see. Oh shit. It is part 1, part 2. You get the fuck out of here. I don't get it. What are we talking about part 2? What? Oh my God.
I mean, we'll see. Maybe, I don't know. Hopefully, like Chad says, hopefully they have good security. I'm excited for it because it'll be interesting to see who's still together or who's still whatever. I mean, I do want to see it, but
let me find out nobody's together anymore.
I think it's gonna be bad.
Well, we already know
because
one
like a
of
lot
them
of
is
them
married.
don't follow each other.
Wait, hold on, Chad. What's that, Chaz?
A lot of them aren't even following each other.
Damn. Well, we'll find out who's had a baby. We'll find out who's in jail.
And what's his name is married. He didn't got married Jimmy John's fast.
Which one? Who?
Cisco.
He's married to Tay?
No, he married to somebody else.
Eric, I'm thinking it might be. I want to say it, but I'm thinking it might be an echo coming from your end. I didn't want to say it the whole time because I want to keep it going, but it's all good. I think it's a little echo. I don't know if you're in your car or whatever. I don't care now. I don't care. So anyway, y'all, I don't really have anything else to say besides the fact I'm looking forward to hear the drama and whatever gonna happen. Who's pregnant? Who been to jail? I kind of think that Rose needs to go off on Cam. I look forward to seeing it. I'm not. Wait, was it Cam or Hussein? Who should go off on? Who did Rose go off on again?
Hussein and Cam.
Okay, I'm looking forward to all of that. I think Rose deserves that because everybody's trash. I think Rose was treated horribly bad. For you to stand up for her so much within the guys' vaults or whatever, just to eliminate her, that's trash to me. Don't even agree with that. Doesn't even make any sense. To me, she was the one that I felt he wanted. And you eliminate her because of the fact that the baby dad's in jail, but she ain't even deal with the man. It makes no sense to me. To this day, I don't understand any of that. I can sit there with message each other, pen pal. I put money on books. You know what I'm saying? We still in contact. I got you a room when you come out. None of that was happening. So I feel like that was just the most oddest move I've seen in of history. So, all right, y'all. We figured out for here. I have nothing else really to say. Y'all check out my TikTok. I have I'm gonna do an interview with Big Brother Jimmy. We're gonna do a TikTok live Tuesday. If you watch Big Brother, you know how this is important. My interviews I did recently with the exit interview for jury and eliminated folks. Please, they are blowing up on TikTok and on YouTube. Go check those out. I'm also gonna do an amazing race, which also will feature Big Brother cast. And hopefully, I'm trying to get my ass on there as well. So y'all make sure y'all please follow and like. Now, Miss Erica, what you ever going on your channel?
I'm gonna be starting with 90 Day Fiance the other way, and getting caught up with life after lockup, and then I'm gonna add at least 1 or 2 scripted shows. So come on down and like, comment, and subscribe.
Dina she's still working on her channel. I know she got some things in the works for her channel as far as traveling, different things. So make sure y'all go follow Dina as well. And Chaz, he's not doing anything as far as channel. I wish he would, but my boy, he good. Chaz, you think you're gonna add final thoughts?
Nope, just perfecting the art of changing diapers.
Oh my god. Congratulations, Papa. All right. All right. That's all I gotta say, guys. Let's end this live. We'll be back this weekend to talk about the reunion. Hopefully, it will be spicy, and I hope they won't put it all in part 1. So apparently, there is a part 2, which I think would be a straight boring buzzkill. That being said, one thing I want you guys to know, and that nothing that will never change about this, I am the queen of reality TV. Don't get it twisted and don't doubt it.